2 games in a row.
Maybe do TV.
Could be. I see last game because he was.
I think he was doing TV.
I'm giving away keys.
And you get a car. So,
Daniel and Chris.
Daniel Taylor. With the inclusion of Brandon, does this automatically mean there'll be lesser minutes and more rest for John Wall?
No, I mean, it could be. I like to keep him under, if I can get him to 35. Right now he's a little over 36, so a couple of minutes here and there. Doesn't seem like a lot, and it really isn't. It's a couple of minutes, and like I said, that's part of our equation. It's not the entire pie, but we look at practices, shoot-arounds before and after practice, the work that we put in. So we look at all the entire workload and make our decisions. But he's feeling great. He's feeling energized. But we do have a lot of games coming up: 5 and 7 nights, and 4 and 5, and 3 and 4, and 3 and 4, and 3 and 4, 4 weeks in a row. So it'd be nice to get some guys some rest, but our practices are very limited during that stretch of March.
Scott, do you have a
long answer, right?
amount of minutes do you want to play Brandon tonight, or is that something like a feel, or do you talk to him about it before the game?
Probably a feel. I'm trying to make it as seamless and the transition as possible. He's definitely going to get some opportunities tonight, but all the guys are going to have to be ready. I think how Jason responded last game, exactly what a pro should do. If you don't play, you still focus on the game, you still stay engaged in the game, you still cheer your teammates on, and when you do get a call, you're ready. And that's, he had a huge 9 or 10 minutes, and not only the 4-for-4, but his defensive execution was right on point. But Brandon, he will get opportunities. He's still picking things up. He's had one shoot around, and we had some work with him with some of our younger players and coaches the day before that. But I'm excited to see what he brings or what he brings to our team on the court. But I like what he's done in the past. Hopefully he can bring some of that with us tonight.
A number that kind of stands out from him is he and John are 4th and 5th in the NBA in fourth quarter assists. It's kind of a number that kind of stands out to you when you think that maybe the perception of Brandon is he's kind of like a score-first point guard, but he's really distributed the ball well in New York. Did you see that in terms of your film study with him?
Well, I didn't know the fourth quarter numbers, but I know that he definitely is a scoring point guard, but he does pass. But all the point guards score now. There's not too many point guards that just straight pass and score 10 to 12 points a game. Everybody's looking to. You have to have the balance. And same thing with John, it has to have the good balance to keep everybody involved and everybody engaged and everybody feeling good about their impact to the team. And same thing with Brandon, he's going to have to pick and choose. There's always a fine line. You take a couple extra shots, you can get your teammates down in the dumps when they're open waiting for the ball and they're not delivered. That's what the good point guards do. You find the balance, and John has done a great job this year with it. He's basically right there leading the league in assists, and Brandon does have a lot of high assist games in his career.
I'm not sure if you were asked about this the other night, but John's
If I was asked, do I have to answer it?
John's block of Serge Ibaka.
Oh my gosh.
As a former point guard and someone who obviously knows how athletic Ibaka is, what do you think when you saw that?
It was some of John's blocks are just. It's mind-boggling. There's times I'm on the bench, I'm shaking my head. I just can't believe that he just went up there and did that. He chases all those. You think you have an open layup, he chases them from behind, and he blocks those. He blocked Ibaka's right. He knew they were going head-to-head, and he met him at the top and blocked it. And I think they did get the ball, and I think he ended up getting the rebound after they took the shot. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. Point guards are not supposed to do that. Mine were always before the guy got it up over his chest, the strip down blocks, but he blocks above the rim, and it's only a few guys that can do that, and we're glad that we have one of them.
Scott, has there been another instance in your coaching career where you've had to implement 3 crucial pieces this late in the season and extra what's the complication of implementing a point guard now? You know, obviously Jan kind of has a little strict role, and Bogdanovich, we knew he was here to score, but now Brandon's going to have a lot more responsibility than those two guys.
Yeah, I've never had it this late as a head coach, but I mean, there's challenges, but like I tell the players, there's no excuses. I don't give myself an excuse. We have to play quality basketball from the start. So I expect us to do things the way we've done and keep the level of consistency how we play on both ends. There's obviously some wiggle room with Brandon as a point guard, and I'm going to try to keep the offensive package to a minimum. And when in doubt, he's a great pick and roll player. And like I said, he's going to have a good balance of getting everybody involved. But if we get defensive stops, his speed up and down the court should help us to get shots and points in transition.
There's, I guess, some irony in the fact that you guys have your best quarter with a 5-man bench unit probably all season, right as the time you get Brandon Jennings to come in here. Just wonder what you thought of Thomas's role in that quarter the other night, and what his role is now going forward with Brandon here.
I think he's done a great job this year. There's a big adjustment for every player in this league that's a rookie. Even though he's had great experience overseas, he's still a rookie. He's still understanding how we operate, how myself and how our coaches and how our system works. And then the personnel that he's guarding. It's a lot different than the players that he's used to guarding in Spain and in Europe. But he's had great experience this year. He still has to be ready. His name will be called. I don't know when. It might be called tonight. There's still room for us to get minutes from him. But I think with he does have a slight advantage because he can play 1, 2, or 3, and he can guard bigger players. So there might be room for him, you know, depending on who's playing well. You know, I don't anticipate Bojan scoring 27 every game. He's going to have some games that he maybe needs a blow, so Thomas can fill him, or Kelly, or who knows, he might play minutes with Brandon, or he might play minutes with our starting unit. I like what he's done. My job is to continue to find and build our team moving forward.
Do you see, in terms of Brandon, do you see any opportunity with him and John playing together?
Absolutely. They're definitely going to play together. I think, like you said, or Chris said, they both can make plays for their teammates. And there's going to be times where we play John, Brandon, and Brad. And we have to, you know, depending on who we're matching up with, which of the 4s and 5s we're going to put with that group. But that's a fast, aggressive, scoring team, especially in that backcourt.
Scott, in this day and age of analytics, I don't know if there's actually one that charts this, but your out-of-bounds plays, just from the eye, looks like you're always getting your first option. Can you talk about what you're seeing in that timeout and what, not specifically what play you're drawing up, but why do you think you're having so much success in your out-of-bounds plays?
I don't pay attention to that because there's so many factors that go into that. There might be, I mean, if we want to get a good shot every time, I can put a pick and roll with John, or I can get a pin down with Brad, but sometimes the game tells you that Otto needs a shot, or Marge needs a look, or Teeth needs a look, or somebody off our bench needs a look. So we're trying to manipulate the game where they can get a rhythm of the game, or maybe get an easy shot or a layup, or an opportunity for them to feel part of the game so they can feel good about themselves. So I mean, if you really want to get a shot, I'm sure all coaches think that. But I like how we're playing. Whether I call a play for a guy, it's not, we have this mentality, it's not necessarily his shot. He has to make the right play for his team, whether it's he takes a shot or makes the play for the teammates. And that's what we did that last night, our last game 2 nights ago, as well as we've done all season. The ball was zipping around the floor, and we were making them chase the ball, and hopefully we continue to play that way. But side out of bounds, base out of bounds, there's a lot of things that I think about as I'm drawing up those plays.
Coach, I know you don't like to call non-elimination games must-wins, but because of the season series also being on the line and potentially being a 4-game swing, how big is this game tonight?
Well, it's good. It'll be a good win for us because we will have that, you know, the 2-1 edge going in to the playoffs if we end up with a tie with them. But told the guys this morning, if we would have lost last night's game, how would we feel? And that's how we have to approach this game. Last night's game or 2 nights ago has no bearing on tonight's game. They're going to come in with a little more anger going into the game, and they're going to want to do well and play better, and we're going to have to guard against human nature to relax. And they're a good team. They didn't play well. We played well. So hopefully we can play just like we played last game with the ball movement, with the defensive pressure and the contesting shots and rebounding. But last night, or 2 nights ago, has nothing to do with tonight's game.
Coach, Jennings has had some bad blood, past dust-ups multiple times with some Wizards players. Is that something you talked with your team about before acquiring him, or with Jennings himself?
Well, I look at players that play with passion and intensity. They're going to have dust-ups. I mean, we have it with our team when we play certain teams. That's part of it. I have no problem with that, bringing guys in. If he's going to come in and help us and be a good teammate, and we're going to have that us against them mentality, I'm for it. But if you're here to disrupt our team, you know, you're not going to be here long, and that's not what he's here to do. He's going to be a good part, a good positive part of our team. We're building a culture of being together and playing for each other, and he's going to add to the culture. And I think he's could be a good part of our team moving forward. He's aggressive. He's a pest. Let's face it, he's a pest. He was a pest earlier when we played him in New York in the preseason, but that's what a lot of the good backup point guards do. And you know, he started for a lot of times in his career, so we have a good backup that started a lot of games in his career.
All right.
All right, see you guys.
Thanks.